Before we start this session, I would like to get Ernest Ray, better known as Frog, our administrator at Waynesboro 1309, to bring in some of his co-workers and brothers.
Now we know where the brains are.
Yeah, we know where the brains are
Now we
now.
know where the brains are.
He brought you around the hard way.
I'll let him go
Now this is what I call a team,
Yep.
no joke. I'm gonna let Brother Frog, brother known as Ernest Ray here, speak, but from my heart, for these people right here, putting together a heck of a meal. But before we do anything, I want Brother Frog to say something here. Go ahead.
Guys, a lot of work goes into doing this, as me and Jeep was talking about earlier, and it's a lot of headaches, a lot of hustle, a lot of bustle. But I'm fortunate in the fact that I've got a work crew that works their ass off that makes it look like I know what I'm doing. And I can't put it no plainer than that, because I can't run this lodge without what I got back here. These girls bust their butts behind the bars, in the kitchen. They do whatever needs to be done. I think they do a great job. I just want to give them some recognition, and I say thank you very much, and I love you guys.
Thank you, Waynesboro 1309.
And they're all pretty. That don't help. That don't hurt anything.
Oh, he's married?
Well, except for the little short one. That's Thank you, guys.
You can stay, Frog. I declare the convention of the Virginia Moose Association is reconvened and open for conduct of business. Next, I would like to call Association Territory Manager Troy King, our liaison, for the report of the membership.
Frog, turn the lights down. Yeah.
All right, welcome, brothers. I appreciate y'all coming out, and I know the virtual convention has been challenging, but we're going to make this happen. What I want to cover first is we're going to cover production. I'm going to show you what we accomplished last night, and I say we, or last year, we as a Virginia Moose Association and the lodges out there, because all the credit goes to every person in this room and everybody viewing on Facebook. There's a lot of women signed men into the fraternity, which is phenomenal. I'm going to try not to bore you with all these numbers, but I want to show you some key things that we do have. Applications last year that we ended with on April 30th was 5489. I pulled numbers as of Wednesday, and they changed slightly. Larry pulled a few things, but as of Wednesday, we have 1,000 new applicants signed, and that's through the COVID from May until August 19th. We got a goal. So our goal last year was 5218. Goal this year is 5368. And I know we can make it. And then where's Artie at? I know he's getting ready to transfer authority to for the membership over, but he did a heck of a year, heck of a job last year. Thanks to you all out there. So give them a round of applause. Now, this number I want to show you, applications not enrolled. So when we finished up the year on April 30th, there were still 44 members in the association that were not enrolled into the fraternity. So what I'm asking you to go back when you have your meeting, especially when you start hitting the April, if they're in there, enroll them. If the governors, if you're online, you listen to me. If you're in here, call the meeting. Let's get them enrolled. We had 44 that just sat there and weren't enrolled. Okay. This year, well, as of August 19th, we got 110 that are sitting out there in various lodges. So I know you haven't met yet, and I know the challenges to meet, but please get them enrolled and get them on the books. Okay. Now we looked at the applications for last year. We're comparing from Create Our Future. We were 6186 from the previous year. Okay. As One Moose applications for the prior year, 5489. The key things to look at is applications from the previous year. We were down 697 of signing those new applicants. So we signed less applicants from the year before. Right now, with the One Moose as of the 19th, we're down 4489. That's to get our +1. So that's what that key figure is, and we want to strive for that. Year-to-date sponsors. Let me have everybody that's signed a member stand up. Now, this Moose year, since May.
All right.
All right.
Hey.
Thank y'all for doing that. What this shows is last year, so we have over 30,000 Loom members. 2,416 members signed a member last year, out of the 30,000 members we have in the association. So I know we can do it, we just got to encourage them to get out there and sign those members. Currently this year, 559 have signed a member. Okay, so that's phenomenal. And already announced the campaign as it's going to be posted out. Have you sent it out already, Artie? Okay, so make sure you get them out there. But we are looking for that member to sign their first member. So it's great that the one administrator signs 500 people this year, but it doesn't help for the top association. It really doesn't help that number. So encourage the members to get out there and sign at least one member. At least one. I'm running out of family members, but I'm going to find somebody. I don't know who it is, but I'm going to find somebody. So our preferred member is the key thing. So last year we ended up at 7%, and that's our goal for Moose International. So as you know, so last year we did meet it. Currently we're at 1.6% for preferred members. So we got a little ways to go for the VMA, for the association. But I know y'all can do it. All right, retention. Has everybody gotten the retention email yet? Maybe. So where's the administrator? Stand up. Where's the administrator? All right. Print that thing out and get it to your board, get it to your members so that they know what's coming up. All right, start planning now, because if you don't plan now, it's not going to be very successful come November. So we are looking for renewals. So last year, 199 renewed, and that's why our numbers, we struggle for the number. Although we got close to 400, down to 400 to being a +1 last year. If they don't get the folks to renew, and they've already been Moose members, so you don't have to convince them too much. Just get them to renew. So that number is very important. But as of today, we got 7,226 that have renewed their dues already. So that's phenomenal. So our retention rate last year was 75%. So basically 25% didn't renew. We're looking for at least 80%, and I think Mike will tell you, Larry, if you can get 85%, then you'll keep your numbers. We'll be a +1. So we're off a little bit last year. Right now we're at 60%. So that means 4 out of 10 members are not signing up each month. So go back, look at your retention list, pull it out, call the members. You listen to Barbara McPherson, she had her video, showed you all the phones. So who's got a flip phone in here? I know Bobby does, a couple of y'all. It still dials. So pick it up and dial that member up there and talk to them. Okay. If not, go knock on their door. Okay. So I'm gonna look at y'all to help us with that. But those were our numbers stand last year. 75%, not too bad. If we can get to 80%, that may have got us our +1 already. I believe it may. So working hard, and I know y'all working hard, and I really do appreciate it. I know the VMA appreciate it, and so does my bosses down there appreciate it. All right, so let's talk about the +1 a little bit. So last year, you see the red numbers up there. After the campaign that they came back in the last few weeks, thanks to Artie and the board and the executive committee approving that and getting it out, those of you who took advantage of it, we really dropped our numbers. We're only 409 to be in a +1 last year, which is phenomenal. So that really worked. And we were in a month and a half. So
Yeah.
we figure March we shut down lodges. So March, April, so about I'll say 2 months. So 2 months we lost. But thanks to you all and everybody out there, the women, I just keep going back to that because the number of members they signed for us, they got that number down. But we were that close. And when he says that close, it's 409, and that's very close. That's a very small percentage, and I know we can do it this year. Right now, we're 1183 down. It's the middle of the month. I know it's COVID. I know people are struggling to come back. I know my home lodge, I'll use Brad, he's the administrator over there. You struggle when he makes the phone calls, and he'll tell you, and everybody will tell you, they're waiting for things to settle down. They're not ready to come back out. But it is turning around, and I know, I'll pick out some folks, and I'm sorry if I don't want to miss anybody, but Bobby over at the Lakeside, he's working it, and I know you all are working it, but getting those members back in the lodge, and that is key, and that's what we got to focus on. We did lose a lodge last year. Hopefully we don't lose any this year because of the COVID and the shutdown. But to date, I think everybody's there, so I don't think we're going to lose a lodge this year at all. Thanks to you all out there working hard and finding unique ways to raise funds. And I'll just look at Portsmouth Lodge. They did some things that were very unique to get the membership out there. So thank you all for doing that as well. All right, I'm just going to give you some hits. So this is last year. This is just a comparison where we were the year before and where we ended up last year with the month. But I will tell you, and Artie and I were tracking this pretty well, 5 of the 12 months, we were a plus. Not a +1, we're a +35 in July, +60 in December, +422 in January, +375 in February. We were a +237 in March when COVID hit. And then we ended up with a -408. So you can see we were tracking to be a +1. So that's what these numbers show you. We track them every month. And for the administrators out there, if you're not getting this data, just contact the territory manager. They'll send you this, an all stat sheet is what they get when they usually show up. And I don't know if Larry printed one off. He can probably show you when he comes up. But it's a sheet that shows these numbers, but it can show you where you're tracking per lodge. Okay, so I thought I'd show you just where we are today. So for May, we're averaging down about 1,000 members every month. I mean, we're staying at steady pace. So down 1,000 in May, just over 1,000, 1,200 in June, and 1,200 in July. And we're down this month about 1,000. Artie, do you remember what the number was? We pulled up, I don't recall, but it was like 1,200, I believe. We stayed at pace. But we're really gonna need y'all to work this hard and get those members back in. And focus on the members that have already been in there. Pull your stats, look back, see who's been a 5-year member, 10-year member, and more than likely to give them a call. They'll probably just wait for you to give them a call and see where you can help them if you can. But we're really gonna need your help to turn this around. And with the lodges opening back up slowly, hopefully we can get this turned around and get them back in. All right, does everybody know about the $20 application? It's waived. Most of y'all do? Raise your hand if you do. You can lie, I guess you can say that. All right. There are some folks that don't know about it. It's gonna end end of September. So it's $20. Now I know a lot of y'all have waived the application fee just automatically in the past, but now you don't have to pay for it. So take advantage of Moose International, this little tidbit they're giving you. They don't have to pay it. And I know one lodge, and I won't know, is it Middlesex? Where's Middlesex at? Middlesex, they mentioned that they always waive the $20 application fee, so what they've done is they're enticing members. Hey, Moose Internationals has waived the application fee, so they've continued, so really they're getting a reduced rate for the dues through the September. So they're offering that to the members to the new members coming in. It's being very successful now, and they're getting a lot of younger members that are wanting to come in and participate. So thank y'all for doing that, but come up with different ways, okay? All right, Premier Lodge Award. All the district presidents, they've been handed, and the territory managers have all your coins that you need. And I'm asking district presidents, coming in district presidents, when you meet, let's make a big show of this. Bring them up, get the coins. Let me know when you're gonna do it. I'd like to attend. Let the other two territory managers know so they can attend. We would like to present them to the lodges. So I'm gonna ask the incoming district presidents and the ones that are watching online and the ones that are holding on for the next year, let me know when you're doing them. Let the other two territory managers know so we can come out there and recognize them. So I'm gonna ask everybody to do now, if you're in the room and you got the Premier Lodge Award, please stand up. All right, give these gentlemen a round of applause. Thank y'all. This was no easy task. The membership really got a lot of lodges, but I will tell you, every year, for the last 3 years, we have increased the number of lodges for the Premier Lodge Award. I believe it was, I think Larry's got the numbers, he'll correct it later, but I think it was like 39 1 year, 2 years ago, last year, or the year before, it was 42. And then this last year when COVID hit in March, we still had 45 lodges out of the 83 get the Premier Lodge, and that is phenomenal. That's phenomenal. That just shows hard work, dedication, that you worked the whole year, and you turned in your numbers, you turned in your endowments, and you worked the membership. And it was tough. Some of you all were a +1 at the end of March, which helped, so you didn't take a hit in April. Some of you actually got the +1 in April. So congratulations, and thank y'all for doing that, because it does show true fraternalism, and that you're working part and you really care about Moose Heart, Moose Haven. Thank y'all for doing that. All right, so the Premier Lodge Award. Has everybody gotten the updated Premier Lodge Award criteria? Administrators, got it all? All right. Got it hanging on the wall, everybody knows? Okay, so still looking for the +1, so that hasn't changed, okay? So that's no different. Still looking for your Moose charities. Still gotta be at that $1 more, and Don's already hit you up, and trust me, he sends out that sheet, and it's phenomenal. If you don't use it, shame on you. Because he does a lot of detail on that sheet, and he'll tell you right where you're at. And other district presidents get it as well. But be that +1 or the $9.05 per member, as it's listed. Okay, so one or the other. So focus on that. The first quarter of the Heart of the Community has been waived. Because we know a lot of lodges were closed, so they weren't going to penalize you all if you didn't have enough data. It was still a requirement, and I'm going to tell you, 100% of the lodges submitted the Heart of Community for Virginia. And that is phenomenal. Everybody put something in there. They did something in this time frame, and we were 100%, which shows a lot. Okay? Grades will come out. You'll still get a grade. But if you didn't have a chance, you were closed down, you couldn't do anything for your area, it's going to be waived, so it won't hurt you. So the next 3 will count. So start focusing now. It's already started. Start focusing on your Heart of the Community, get that second one in. Okay, the indebtedness, you just need to make sure in April, the administrators, just make sure that, check your AR, make sure that you don't owe Moose International anything at the end of the year. Make that final payment, make it early, and let the finance department settle it out. Okay, don't wait till the 30th of April and submit some big payment and take that chance. So make sure you track that down. All right, this is the easy one. Moose of the Year, 100% in the VMA. Everybody submitted Moose of the Year. Thank y'all for that. Easy one. Just take your Moose of the Year. Please make a big deal about it in your lodge. Bring them up. Put in a plaque. It is something phenomenal that you need to accomplish. Transmitting your financials. Administrators, just make sure you do it once. You make sure you do it for the 15th of the month. Okay, that's an easy one. All you gotta do is push a button. So it's an easy figure. Orientations. Drop down, they're looking for 9. Now everybody who has not done an orientation, then your lodge is not done. All right, go back to your lodge, schedule one. August should be the first one you should have knocked out. If you can open and if it's safe, okay? But schedule the orientations, the videos are there, it doesn't take long. If you need help, let somebody know. There's enough lodges around, we're around, we'll come down and help you. But please knock out the orientations. That's an easy one. You schedule it, send out the cards, give the folks a call, tell them to come on in, view the orientation. Okay, that's the easy one. Endowment fund. And I'm gonna go back to, I'll take it back. It's five, I think I told you now, 5 orientations. So endowment fund. Make sure every month you send your endowment in. Does everybody know how to go online and do it automatically? Does anybody not know how to do it? Anybody afraid to raise their hand and tell me know how to do it? Go to Moose Charities. It's up at the top. It'll say donate. Click the button. Drop down. Tell them your lodge. Drop $5 in there at a minimum something. I think $5 is the minimum you can put in there. So, but do something for your lodge. Make sure you put it in there. Okay? And all it takes, you need to get 9 out of the 12 months. Okay. All right. Governor's Leadership Award. Any governors in here? Any governors that earned the Leadership Award? Stand up, please.
Yeah.
Give them a round of applause. Thank y'all for what you do. It's not a gimme. They still got to sign up at least 3 members, and that catches a lot of folks. Okay, so make sure you follow that criteria, and you got to be a Premier Lodge Award winner, and you got to make sure that you're trained. Make sure you take your training. You got to be updated every 3 years. So thank y'all for doing that. You stayed up on your training. Lodge made the Premier Lodge Award, and you did everything you're supposed to do by signing members. So thank y'all for that. Administrators. Any administrators in here made the Administrator Award? If you are, please stand up.
Wow.
Congratulations. Also not a gimme. They still got to sign the 3 members. They still got to take their training, and they still got to make sure the Board of Officers do what they're supposed to do, so you do get the Premier Lodge Award. So it's a struggle. And administrators, and thank y'all for doing that. It is a heavy task for them. But congratulations on making your award this year. All right, so I'm gonna just talk about the Leadership Award a little bit. How do you get the Leadership Award? Like I said, you gotta, coming in here, it changed it, so if 1 July, your board time starts, you gotta complete your year. So 30 through 30 August, you'll be eligible. You gotta be a Moose Legionnaire. Is anybody not a Moose Legionnaire in the room?
I got an application.
Bob woke up now, I see, finally.
If they have not elected a board, if they do it in August, do they
Yeah.
do credit for?
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. All right, if not, you got some Moose Legion folks over there that's dying to go get you to sign up. Don't let that mess you up, okay? Don't let it mess you up. Make sure you're a Moose Legionnaire. The conventions. Everybody, if you attend virtually, and everybody who attend to international, and we're 100%, then you're good, okay? So if you logged on and registered. This one, not gonna count against you. So if you're at home watching it, you were able to come, we did take roll, but you're gonna get credit for this. So it's not gonna be held against you, so you'll be marked. So if you're an administrator or governor, worry about that, you are gonna be good, okay? So don't stress out of it. Go back and let the other governors that didn't come, administrators, or maybe didn't get a chance to attend, let them know the same thing. Okay. And basically that's it. It's an easy fix. Now, after everything I've gone over with you, what does it matter? Well, I'm gonna tell you, at the association level, is working for the top association. Why shouldn't we talk about the preferred members? Why shouldn't Artie just take all 100 members that sign up and nobody gets in the lodge? Well, the reason is, it's a percentage of preferred members that will help the association reach the top level. Okay. Moose Legionnaires, very important. I've talked to Robbie, I've talked to several. If you don't have a strong Moose Legion in your lodge, you're gonna have a weak lodge. So focus on those lodges, help those lodges. But the percentage of Moose Legionnaires that are signed up, that also adds points to the top association. Retention, we talked about retention. The Premier Lodge Award, we're at 45 for last year, so let's go ahead and get 50. Love to have all 83, but let's just keep raising up, because that percentage also has been going up, and it helps out toward the top association. And there's a tiebreaker down there at the bottom that you could also help on. Now this was mentioned, now I'm gonna tell you, so we continually place in the top 3. And everybody said, well, how, they never look at the numbers. Well, I'm gonna tell you, in the past 3 years, we got 203 points. We're still 3rd, we're in the top 3. But I'll tell you, last year, we scored like 198. And the top association was like 202, 203. The year before, I think we were like scored like 194 points. Top association was close to 200. So what does that mean? What I'm telling you is you're doing the right things. So our numbers are getting higher. We're now in the 200s. We're getting that point range. It just so happens, for whatever reason, a couple lodges or a couple associations just pop out of nowhere, and they come over top of us. But what you're doing, don't give up, because this is top 3 is nothing to shake a stick at. I'm gonna tell you, it shows that you all are fraternal. You're doing the right things. And that number last year would have won. The year before would have won. Okay, so look at it a couple ways. You're just pushing other associations to work harder. Okay, so keep working it. Keep working it. All right, I get to keep talking to you. All right, Ferd, I do serve. Oh yeah, go ahead. For the presidents, that's my report for the membership.
Thank you, brother. We want some more lights in here before we go on. Y'all want a little bit more lights?
I want his lights.
Huh?
Yeah, we turn back.
Can we turn them back on back there, brother? Put a little light on the subject. A little light on the subject. All right. Thank you, Brother Troy. May I have a motion to approve this membership report? May I have a second to accept that motion? Thank you for the enlightenment, Brother Andy. We've got a second. Brother Andy Doodle. Okay. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor vote by the usual sign of the order. Those opposed, the vote is favorable. And I declare the liaison report duly approved. Now I'm getting ready to call you back, Brother Troy. Would you come on back here to the altar, please?
Thank you, Brother President. This is real short. We're going to post this for everybody. We're going to post the videos on the website, on the VMA website, that says you'll be able to look and watch those again. They've already been out, but we're going to go ahead and post them. A lot of folks would like to see them. Didn't present very well in here during the virtual, but we're going to get those out there as well. What I'm going to ask everybody else in the room here is that when you go back, because I know not every lodge is representative here physically, but I do know, I do see all but one district president, but I think we have some incomings and whatnot. Go back and please, at your next district meeting, educate who did not show and tell them what we discussed here. And if you have questions after, or if you need more clarification, please ask, and we'll get those for you. What I'm going to ask to is serve as your liaison, really between Moose International and your VMA, you all. You know, besides just doing the territory manager. So if you have questions or you have concerns, you need something, my number's out there. It's pretty easy. It's blasted all over the website for the VMA. Just go on their site. We're listed. Just give me a call, shoot me an email, give me a text, and I will gladly get back to you. Okay. What I'm going to ask also coming up is the fellowship. We're going to have to submit those. Go back to your lodges, start looking at your candidates. Put your qualified candidates in there. And if you need help writing the resumes, if you need help or wonder why you're not getting somebody for some reason, call your territory manager. They can help you. They can show you the form. They can work with the form. Maybe how it should be written. Maybe some terminology you could use. Clarify what does qualify, what doesn't qualify, and take a look at those and provide the feedback to you. You know, you can provide it to them. They'll take a look at it. You know, give it back to you. At least help you articulate what you want to say. But we don't want a fellow not get that degree just because the writer may have not said what it needed to say. And we'd rather find it out before than afterwards. And then you don't want to get that and say, well, it wasn't articulated very well, we didn't understand it. Okay, so please do that. Use your territory managers, use your district presidents, incomings, to help you with your lodge. Reach out to them. Larry's number's on the website, you can find his. Reach out to us if you need help. Go ask your district presidents, and they will gladly help you. I'm just speaking in my half, I speak in my territory. I got 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9 districts. Those are my districts. And they're all sitting here and they're phenomenal. They go out there and they go to the lodges and they really work the programs. So use your district presidents to come into the lodges. Don't be offended if they want to come in and help or ask them to come in and help. Please do that. And last thing is, use the rest of this year to prepare yourself for one moose. Don't wait till April 30th and then May 1 comes around and you didn't prepare yourself and your lodges of what's to come. Okay? Ask the questions now. I think some folks are still confused. I think they can start signing women up now. We're not there yet. Okay, 1 May. So start preparing yourself. Go back and listen to what Mike Lohr said. Relook at the video. Pull out the general laws that were amended out there and we approved. Start looking at the changes and just start prepping yourself for the women and the men to be one. Okay, don't wait till the last minute. And I'm probably going to avoid the first meeting in May when you have 2 men that usually show up and all of a sudden you got 50 women sitting there. And who's ever been to a women's meeting? Anybody, have y'all been? All right, they bring the general laws. All right, they sit there and they're a lot more methodical in their processes than we do. It's just a fact. So if you don't prepare yourself, Lord, that first president is going to stand up here and the women are going to ask questions. When it comes to the good of the order, they're going to ask questions. And they're going to question anything you have. You read the budget, they're going to ask you about it. So just be prepared. That's all I'm going to ask you. And Brother President,
Thank you, brother.
who's my report? Liaison report.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Troy. May I have a motion to accept the liaison report?
President, Ron Kitchen, 1514, I'll make a motion to accept.
Do I have a second to accept the report?
Joe Roney, Waynesboro, 757.
I can hear that, brother. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any discussion? If not, those in favor vote by the usual sign of the order. Those opposed? The vote is favorable and I declare the liaison report duly approved. Next, I would like to call on Moose International Regional Manager Larry Mead for his comments, and he may have to introduce our official visitor. You're a little later, my brother. Welcome, my brother.
Good afternoon, brothers that are in attendance. Afternoon, brothers and sisters virtually. Just going to touch base real quick on a few of the things that Troy had covered, just to give you some sort of impact of how it affects our operations. The waiving of the application fee runs now until the end of this month. And in just 1 month, the application fee that Moose International has absorbed and had not retained is over $212,000. Just in application fees alone between the men, the women, and the Moose Legion. So that's a big number. So take advantage of it while you can. Help us sign more members in all those categories. The training that we do, some of you, the new officers, you know you have to have your training done within your 60 days. I've been traveling Virginia extensively in the past 2 months. I run into issues, and many of the issues are where the officers are not trained, or they're trained and they're doing another officer's responsibilities. Now, it's okay if you're the treasurer and you want to know what the governor's supposed to do and what the prelate's supposed to do and what the trustee is supposed to do. That's great, but don't do it for them. Stay in your lane. Do your own job, because what happens is you begin to have conflicts between, is it the governor's position to do this, or is it the treasurer's? Is it the treasurers or the prelates? Is it the trustees, or is it the administrators? Stay in your lane, do your job. To know every job is optimal, but stay in your lane when you have your own job. If you're the governor, run the fraternal end of the business. If you're the administrator, run the financial end. Communicate with each other. Don't trample over each other. We do have 83 lodges, down 1 from last year. Incrementally, as Troy had said earlier, we're doing a phenomenal job as an association. 39 Premier Lodge Awards in 2018, 41 2019, and last year we had 45. That's excellent. That's over half of our lodges. You know, and the top association criteria is very critical for the fact that, you know, we have 32,000 members in this association. You know, everything's based on percentages. We have smaller associations with maybe 3,000 members, maybe 1,400 members. You know, God bless those associations, but they have to have percentage increases as much as we do. The difference is we've got 32,000 members, they've got 3,000, so we have to work harder. In my opinion, we have to do that. To be in the top 5 in the last 5 or 6 years is phenomenal for the size of this association. It really is. And I tell the executive board almost every year that, you know, I'm not going to make it to your convention, you know, I'm not going to make it to this meeting. And the reason is that normally I don't have to be here because it's run so well. I do have to be in other associations to try to have them emulate what you're doing here. So it gives me the opportunity to be able to assist other associations, and I thank everybody for that. So I will see you in the lodges, in and out in times, but I do travel more to lodges and associations that need more assistance. Just to clarify one thing, we need to be plus $1 in your Moose Charities giving, or $9.05 per capita. Okay, because it did sound, maybe I didn't catch it, it sounded like you had to be plus 1 or 905. Not, you have to be plus 1 in membership to maintain the criteria for the Premier Lodge Award. The last thing I've got to say before I introduce our official visitor is that it is trying times everywhere. It's not just Virginia. Obviously, right now in Tennessee, they're having their convention in person in Gatlinburg. Arkansas is having their convention in person in Little Rock. West Virginia just tied up their convention today in person in Morgantown. I chose to come here a long time ago, prior to even this pandemic, because it's one of those things I want to do. So I could have been at any of the other ones, but I really want to express my appreciation for not only the executive board, not only for the officers, but also the members of the association, to have such a phenomenal association considering the size. So the second to last thing I'm going to say, Ed, is that we really have to be safe, and we have to follow the mandates of the CDC and whatever the health department or whatever the guidelines are when it pertains to this pandemic. Be careful, be yourselves, but also be cognizant of the people around you They may not have it, they may or may not know they have it, but protect yourself. Don't open your lodge too early if there's an issue there. Don't open it too late. Seek our advice. Call Troy, Chris, Mike, or myself, and we'll try to walk you through it. That being said, our official visitor for this virtual convention is Director of Membership Mike Rios from the Suffolk, Virginia Lodge 141.
It's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. Well, good evening, everybody. It's great to be home. I tell you, I really appreciate the invitation. We've had this in the works for me to come back for a while, and it just became opportune. And usually, the Director General is not sending an OV to a virtual convention. And my response to him was, I need to get home. I need to be around the people that I know and love and grew up with. And so, thanks for having me here. I appreciate the executive committee pushing that to have me here this afternoon. And really appreciative of Waynesboro for hosting this and for the great lunch, but thank you very much. And before I forget, I know we're getting ready to experience a lot of changes, and I'd just like to express our sincere appreciation on behalf of Moose International for Robbie Robertson's leadership in the past few years in leading this association, accepting that position. I know he's got a Looney Tunes tie on. I told him he's going to be playing that's all, folks, later on here in just a few. But I'd just like to express our appreciation on behalf of the Director General, the Supreme Council. Thank you for a job well done, sir.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate it. And I would be remiss without saying, we've gone through a lot of changes in the field staff. We've lost a few members, we've gained some members. And with this pandemic, we're not replacing those who have decided to retire. We do have a financial review specialist team that goes out and does nothing but strictly financial reviews and try to help the lodges and make sure that we're doing what we need to do. But here in Virginia and the Mideast, we do have a very, very good team. And I'd like to say thank you and a round of applause for our regional manager, Larry Mead, your liaison, Troy King, and Mike Stumbaugh, who's up in Northern Virginia, and Chris Robertson, who's not with us, those two and out in Western Virginia. But to you, I say thank you for what you're doing, and I appreciate your tenacity and your hard work. It's not easy. It's kind of like being an administrator, but at least you can get in the car and go away for a little while and go somewhere else. But anyway, thank you to that leadership team for doing what you do and your sacrifice and travel. Thank you. The new position that I have in the past October will be 3 years. And I've been traveling all over. I've been in 38 different states. And in Ontario, I told the Director General that I wanted to spend a couple of months in Hawaii to try to get a lodge started there, and he said, hold off on that. So I'm restricting my travels right now to the continental U.S., and it's kind of difficult when you're going and trying to find a lodge that's open. But honestly, in some instances, I would rather go to a lodge that was closed because they were operating smartly, even though doing the sacrifice, and they were practicing safe measures for their membership. What we've been experiencing over the entire fraternity is lodges have been released to open back up. A couple weeks later, they suffer an illness and they have to shut down again for 14 days and clean up and quarantine. It's very difficult for us. It's a loss of revenue for our lodges. It's also a loss of revenue for Moose International because the endowment is not being sent up like it should be, and it's not being collected. But I can tell you that Don Ridenauer sends the reports all the time, and I get a copy of it. And when we talk about in our staff meetings and with the leadership team up at Moose International about how we have suffered as well in our monetary intakes in support of Moose Heart, Moose Haven, you look at the numbers from Virginia, and it's almost like nothing really happened. You're still right up there where you need to be. And what that tells us is you're still dedicated, even though you're not falling prey to the circumstances. So thank you for that, because during this time, Moose Heart and Moose Haven has not shut down. It still needs to run. Of course, we run off of the finances and funds that are invested as a result of the endowment collections. And some people may say that we have enough money. And I challenge that statement by saying, what is enough money? Or what is too much money? Because this is not something that we're doing that's just gonna be for our lifetime. I've already lived longer than I'll ever live. That's a scary thought. But you think about how many more years beyond us, our children and our children's children, and even though we may not know it, may not be around to understand it or get it, what we do now will help support that for many years to come into infinity. And I can tell you, we've got kids on campus that we've fallen in love with, the Virginia girls, Linda and I have. Got a huge relationship with them. They know that I don't like clowns, so they come up to the Spring Lodge dressed as clowns. They don't know I like glitter, so they give me cards full of glitter. You know, but they're great kids. They're regular kids. They get in trouble. We went to take them out to eat one night, and one of them couldn't go because she was in timeout where she had got in trouble. So they're very well disciplined. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Please. Thank you. It's a structured environment, and we do that. We do that. It's really great to see what we're producing. And if you go down to Moose Haven and you're listening to those seniors there, they're so grateful, so thankful. Wish they could have done it earlier. We help facilitate that. Now, will we see what's in the future? I know we said last year with Create Our Future, we never know the fruits of our labors. We may never know that seed that we plant, we may never enjoy the shade of that tree. But just because we'll never enjoy the shade doesn't make it a less nobler cause to work for this. You're all in this room. You're at the lodge on Facebook Live, or you're sitting at home. You could be doing anything else. You could be cutting grass, you could be fishing, swimming. But the reason you're here is because you want to be. And the way the rules change, you could be at home and you don't even have to be in this room, but you chose to because you care. Because you're leaders and you want to show other people that you care and you want to lead by example. And the only way we can do that is have skin in the game and participate and live what we preach. Now I'm planning on, it's great to be back this way, but I'm planning on visiting Winchester 1283 because I understand that's a pretty good, who's in here from Winchester? Okay, if you're listening live, I'm coming to see you, and I've got it on the schedule for September 1st, so no big deal, just have a good meal ready, and I'm gonna go to the meeting. But anyway, I'm gonna visit Lynchburg 715. We've been really impressed with the social media posts and looking at all of the lodges that have been fixed up since this shutdown. And by the way, they said we're running ahead of schedule, so my 3 minutes, they said I could take an hour and a half, so I'm just going on that. So, but even during the shutdown, we've taken time to make our place look good, make our places look like it's somewhere that we want to be instead of a dark, dirty, dingy, smelly place. And it's taken some sacrifice, it takes money, but if you get your members together, it can be done, and that's been proven. Now, we've only had to close a handful of lodges nationwide. That's a great testimony. Even with this pandemic, a lot of them are hanging on, and we're trying to help. We're doing the best we can with the pandemic relief fund, as many lodges in Virginia took advantage of. But you look at the lodges that are closing, and I'm not pointing fingers or airing anybody's dirty laundry, but they had one foot in the grave to start with, and we were trying to do everything we could to help them. But sometimes you've got to participate in your own rescue. And when that's seen, and you want to help somebody that's trying to help themselves instead of just giving them a handout. But when we're sitting around talking at Supreme Council, they joke with me about Virginia. But they can't say anything bad because we're an example. I go to some associations and go to some conventions, and this room here may be the size of the convention for an entire association. You're a big association, and I'm proud to be a part of it. So it makes me feel good to sit in the room and they want to say something about Virginia. I'm like, yeah, we got it going on. This is my home association. So you got it going on, and I really appreciate the fact that you're still hanging in there through all this. Going through a lot of changes. No smoking. We've gotten a lot of positive input from other fraternals and saying that we've led the way and we're setting the example and setting the tone. It wasn't easy. It's still not easy in some cases. But we thought, and as a result of the membership vote, it's just the right thing to do. And I believe it'll work for us if we give it a chance and allow it to, as long as we accommodate and make concessions for those who smoke, because I believe that's the right thing to do as well. Also with the One Moose, a lot of controversy. A lot of people that are just going to absolutely resist this no matter what. I understand the opinion, and I get it. I really do. I'm on the committee, and we've had many meetings, and all of us on the committee have not agreed. But I like that because I don't want to be on a committee where everybody agrees. Why have a committee? We respectfully agreed to disagree. We made the best presentation that we know how to, and now we just need to move forward with it. And like I've said in many presentations before, if you're not for it and you're not going to work within the system, then please, please don't be a hindrance and try to make it fail. Because what you're doing is essentially taking food off the plates of those kids that we're supporting. Because it really, I say it all the time, it's not about us, but if you think about the picture, it's not all about us. Why do lodges exist? Why do lodges exist? To support the philanthropic efforts of Moose, to support Moose Heart and Moose Haven. Moose International, there's nowhere in the mission statement that says Moose International exists to throw money at lodges that fail to do and take responsibility for their operations. But yet we put into place incentives, grants, opportunities, provide managers, guidance, and like I've said before, and you've heard me say, if you've been around a while, we're not perfect, but we're trying really, really hard to make this thing work and make some concessions and bend a little bit. But the harder you work, for example, I'm also on the loan committee. We loan money, okay? We're not a bank, but in extreme cases, we'll loan money to lodges. Nearly, we have an outstanding balance of loans to lodges to the tune of $6.5 million, okay? Some of them can't pay it back, some of them can. Some of them are working hard too, and some of them maybe not so much. So we're trying to help. But when we consider loans, we also look at, are they holding orientations and enrollments? Are they having board meetings? Are they doing anything? Are they relevant in the community? Because we're certainly not going to give anybody any money to run a bar. So what I'm saying is, take pride and continue to take pride of what you're doing in Virginia, and it's well noticed. And like Larry was saying, you know, we've got some unrealized income issues at Moose International, sure. Will we get it back? Hopefully. I think we're going to, you know, we need to promote and advertise. We're doing things. I think Facebook is a great way to advertise the activities of Moose. You know, virtual social quarters has been a great tool. Sometimes it's a sounding board, but just like anything else, Facebook can be a weapon or a tool. And there's so much hate, so much discontent in this world, so many people that aren't even happy with themselves, and that flows over into our lodge. Our lodges should be a safe place to come to where we don't have that bickering and complaining. How many in here have social quarters where they don't ever hear any complaints and everything's good and there's no violations of decorum? You just lied to me, Jimmy. Really though, those are things that we have to deal with, but we're looking toward the future. I think we have a great opportunity to take advantage of this pandemic. A lot of businesses are closing. Over 80,000 businesses nationwide have closed, okay? So you think about that. 80,000 businesses, a handful of Moose lodges. We're hanging in there, some by a string, some by a thread. But we can do it but you look at all these businesses that are closing, most of us, we own a building or we have property. So we have an opportunity to take advantage of that and promote it within the community. This is what we can do for you. And how we're going to get new members is through community service. Letting them know what we can do for you and bring them in. Even if you have to do like they're doing in Colonial Heights, the old bait and switch program. You come on in and we do this and then we offer you this, and while you're in there, it's like, have you heard the news? Do you know about Moose? And I don't say that bait and switch is a bad thing. I'm saying it's a great thing. Bring them in, but let them know what the Moose is all about when they do. We've got members now that have been members 20 years. They don't know anything about Moose Heart. My wife and I, we were out recently, and I had a Moose shirt on. The lady says, like, what's that? Where do you work? What do you do? And she said, I've never heard of the Moose. She was at a Walgreens that was 2 blocks away from a Moose lodge, and she'd never heard of the Moose. We've got that a lot, so we need to get the word out of what we are and what we do. But take this back with you. Take pride in what you're doing. I already said, you know, we want to make Mike proud. Don't work to make me proud. I'm already proud of what this association does. And my pride isn't reflected in the number, but it's in the quality. But numbers are good, quality is better. But enjoy that pride. Somebody told me, an administrator many years ago, what difference does it make if we get the Premier Lodge Award? It's just a piece of paper. I submit to you that was the wrong man for that job, and he's no longer in that position. If you feel like the Premier Lodge Award is just another piece of paper, go away. You don't know what it's all about. Pride is something that there's nothing wrong with it. You should take pride in that medallion. You should take pride in our ritual. You should take pride in what you have to offer in your lodge. And if you don't take pride in that, then maybe you're not suited to be a moose. And I hate to say that because I'd like for everybody to be a moose, but it's not for everybody. We got rules and regulations. Sometimes it's not equally enforced and things are done that are just not quite to our understanding. But we don't know the whole picture a lot of times. But let the process work. We're at under 500,000 male members right now. And 30 years ago, we were at 1 million maybe, but 500,000. Last year, we were very, very close to being +1. I was kind of excited. I said, well, even if we're +1, we're still never going to be like we were 30 years ago. But even now, this is a year that, as the loom, this is the last year we have the opportunity to be +1 with the men only. If we do, we do. This is the lowest we've ever hit, so there's nowhere to go but up, right? 99,000, almost 100,000 male members are on the expired list right now. And I get it, the pandemic, there's no value in that card. They can't go anywhere and do anything. The lodge is closed, so I get it. So they're gonna renew their dues when they come back on board, hopefully. But that's where we're at. And 77,000 or more have actually dropped out of fraternity. We've been doing good with liaisons, and a lot of you have been calling your members and just saying one thing: how you doing? Do you need anything? You're not asking them about renewing their membership. That goes a long ways. We need to understand that everybody's going through this differently, and some people can handle it better than others. And you don't know they can put on a straight face, but in this room, everybody is struggling with something. And if we don't stop the poison, and if we don't stop the arguing, and if we don't stop the backbiting and the rumors and the favoritism, we're not going to move forward. We're just going to exist. And I want to see us move forward and care for each other just like we would our family, because we are family. So I'll tell you this: wherever I go, I know I'm around family, but I know that excuse me, I know I do this all the time, but I'm very passionate about it. When I'm here, I really am with family. And I know if my car broke down, or if I had a situation at home, or if something came up, that not one person in this room would deny me as far as helping me. We put our differences aside when we come together as brothers and sisters. And that's what Moose is all about. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. And let's be Moose strong together. Thank you for the opportunity. I love my family. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Mike. Next, we will be doing our Shining Star presentation. Let me pause for a second and get one. Am I passing?
How about Shining Star Vice President?
Your brothers, due to the situation of the social distancing and what have you, we're going to call out the names. I'm going to have each one of the executive committee come up and announce the Shining Star winners. Okay? But of course, if no one's ever seen what a Shining Star looks like, here it is right here. You can see it, right? Good, good. First, for top sponsor is Ernest Ray.
Thank you, Brother President. The top sports lodge, Lou Ray.
The top district president, district number 2, Maury Carr. Get well, Maury.
Receiving the award for top administrator, Mr. Keith Carpenter.
Top Lodge 0 to 400, Timberville.
Come on, pages. Top lodges, 401 to 800. Manchester Richmond Lodge, 699.
And top lodge, 800 plus, Richmond East. Next, I'll be doing the presentation to the district presidents. Y'all just stay seated right now, my brothers. I'll be right there. Y'all not gonna get no spanking. I'll put these down. Brother Jerry, it's been an honor and a privilege this year. Thank you very much. Thank you for your services. I appreciate it. Brother Maury's not here, but I'll be speaking with him when I talk to Mr. Duke. Thank you. I'm gonna leave that there and we'll make sure we do. Brother Jerry, it's been an honor and a privilege this year. Thank you for your services again, brother. That's my brother. Brother Dennis, again, thank you for your services this year. Thank you. You continue your service. Brother Bill, very important this year. Going through all your heart surgery, very proud of you. Thank you for getting what you go and your service. Thank you very much, my brother. My brother Jeff, again, thank you, brother, for serving and for continuing service to this coming up here. I thank you. My brother B.A. Prillet, what a pleasure to know you still. Thank you for being under the incoming district president. I thank you, my brother. Brother Wakefield Policy, I appreciate your service to this year. Keep getting up, my brother. Thank you so much. Brother Laird Roundfield, for your 3-year term in this year, be district president. I definitely, President Tommy, something that I appreciate you, brother Laird, for your services. Thank you, brother. Brother Greg Kirby, again, thank you for your services. Keep getting up. Keep going. Brother Clark Crowley, I thank you for your service. Keep getting up. Brother, John, Eagle, I thank you. And again, I thank you for your service. Thank y'all, folks. Thank you so much.
Remind them again that after this, anybody that's going to be president this year needs to come over here.
Anybody gonna be president this year, please come over to the corner when we finish up this meeting so you can get your photogenic picture or whatever for next year. Thank you.
Brother President,
My brother.
I was just wondering where the district flags are. Which one I'm most, I'm thinking like, I'm gonna have on District 10. I'd like to donate $20 to the endowment fund and challenge everybody else, since there's no flags here.
Since there's no flags here, I thank you. Anybody wanna donate, especially when you walk out this door here this evening, please contribute to our endowment.
Brother President,
Yes, sir, my brother.
District 12 is the maximum, we're gonna bump him up 20.
Mercy sakes, mercy sakes. Do I hear 20? Do I hear 20? Do I hear 30? Do I hear 30? What do we? We're doing good, guys. Yes, my brother.
Bring it on.
Brother Ed, rest.
In honor of District 3, we're gonna make it $60.
We got it.
All right, where you at, Bob? Where you at, guys?
Brother President,
Yes, sir, my brother Ron Kitchen.
I ain't got as much money as he does, cause he's got 2 boats, but let me see here.
right there for District 2.
Well, we thank you very much. Lord have mercy, child. We thank you, brother. You keep them rolling, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
Who's chairman is chairman, I thank you guys.
We do. We thank you.
Brother President,
Yes, sir, my brother.
I'm gonna be the incoming District 9 President.
Incoming District 9 President. Yes, sir, Mr. Gary Easter.
District 9, $100.
That's what I'm talking about, District 9. Make me proud. Make me proud. Yes, sir, my brother.
Not to be outdone by District 9. District 4, incoming president, will do $100.
And we thank you for that $100. Mercy's sake. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir, my brother. We talking. I swear to thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you. I like that. No, we're gonna. I'm getting ready to do election. Oh, come on here. I got another second here. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
If we had time, I'd let you do some karaoke singing.
Not loud.
I won the 50-50 last night, so I'm home. I gave 80 of it back to the bar, so I guess I can get the rest of it.
We thank you.
$150.
That's what I'm talking about again. Yes, sir. District 1. Look out here. Thank you, my brother Mike.
Brother.
How much we got now, Dave? I don't know. We can figure it out. You can't camp that high. Let me get my pen. I'm a music number. Yeah, I'm a music guy.
Yes, sir, my brother Clark. District 11. That's right. Want to keep you in line. No, come on. What you talking about? Thank you, brother Clark. See, this is what it's about, brothers. You don't always get up here like I say, hey, we got an amen. This is real stuff. It makes you move. It makes you, it makes you move.
Hey, brother President.
Yeah.
Let any district knows that they want to donate, they don't have cash, they can just make the commitment and write an IOU and something.
That's right. Any of y'all that don't have no cash and you want to write an IOU, hey, bring it on up here.
ATM, right over there.
It's ATM.
Another 200 from District 3.
Thank you, brother Address. District 2, $200 more. District 3, made it be known.
We ought to cut the dishes back now.
Sorry about that, brother Gerald. Go ahead, brother Eddie.
You know, Neil, thank you so much for starting this. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but about 4 or 5 years ago when Terry was trying to become known because he's so unrecognizable in our association, he was always doing stuff to get fined so he could pay and get up and wave. Brother, I haven't seen you give us any money today. Don't you think you should pop some money in here? I'll give 20 if you will.
Oh, let's make it a 50 then.
I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income. This hurts. There you go, brother.
Thank you, brother.
I would think some other board members would step up.
My brother Robbie.
Especially incoming president.
I'm going to have to be calling my wife here in a minute. Thank you, brother Robbie.
Another 20.
Be leaders by example.
What else we got?
funds now.
Brother President, what was the total we took in?
Hey, brother.
I have no
Hold
clue.
on, brother.
Wait a minute.
All right, so I'll start off District 8. I am in District 8, so here's $50 on behalf of District 8. We can't be left out, so. And that's my allowance for the week, gentlemen.
Thank you, Brother Troy. Thank you, Brother Troy.
You can say that all week? All week.
I think we're gonna move on here. Thank you, and thank you so much. It's no joke. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're getting on here to the nitty-gritty. Election. For conducting the annual election of the Virginia Moose Association officers, the chair recognizes Secretary Robbie Robertson. Brother Robbie.
President Kennedy, since all candidates nominated are unopposed, the rules and order governing this convention, as well as our orders, general laws, provides that the secretary may cast unanimous ballot for all offices, providing a majority vote is received from the voting members in attendance. Brother President Kennedy, the nominees are for Association Secretary for a 3-year term, Artie Ransom. Association Treasurer for a 1-year term, Wakefield Foster. For Association Perlet for a 1-year term, Carl Overstreet. For Association Vice President, Terry Treadwell. For a 1-year term for Association President, Glenn Sidner. I had to think about that one for a minute.
Brothers, I will accept a motion to order the secretary to cast a unanimous ballot for all offices just read. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to broadcast the ballot for the vote for.
Thank you, Brother John. Brother John Lehman, Timberville. All right. And also we have Brother Neil from Perrysburg. All right, we got a second. I've heard the motion and the second. All in favor of electing these association officers, vote by the sign of order. Opposed? The motion is carried. Brother Secretary, please continue.
President Kennedy, as Corporate Secretary of the Virginia Moose Association, and to obey the orders of this convention just taken by majority action of the delegates assembled, it is my pleasure to cast a unanimous ballot in favor of the nominees for the offices of Associate Secretary, Association Treasurer, Association Prelate, Association Vice President, and Association President.
I declare the nominees for the association offices as read previously by the secretary to be elected. Now, next we need to move on. That's right. Clap. Help me get going, Don. Help me keep going. Brother Sergeant Arms, would you please escort the ladies in to the room for the swearing in, please? Thank you, brother. And just while they're coming in here right now, someone asked a question back there on the endowment. For the endowment collected, $1,300. Is that correct? $99. Hey man, I got $1. I can make this. I can put an extra $1. That's $400. $1,400. Hey, what you talking about?
They can't say that we needed loan for an endowment.
You're gonna need it for endowment. All right. We're getting ready. Just a second. 400. That's real stuff though, while we're waiting for them to come in here. Say what? Anybody wanna sit down? We got a few seats up here. Huh? Y'all pick some chairs here. We're not gonna serve you popcorn. I know y'all getting comfortable in that seat. We got seats all up here. You get a front row seat, come on. Don't be bashful. We're gonna be here one moose. You might as well get on here and get together. All right. I now call on Junior Past President Eddie Worth for installation of the association officers for 2020-21. Brother Eddie.
Thank you, Ken. Brother Ken, this is obviously my last opportunity at a microphone too. This has been 5 wonderful years on the board. We are blessed to have so many good folks, not only willing to step up, but want to continue to step up to help run the best organization. You know, we may end up third nationally a couple of 3 times, but we're competing with associations that have 12 lodges and stuff like that. So, I mean, we got 83 and we can be in the top 3. Come on, we're the best. I don't care what anybody says. But on behalf of the Virginia Moose Association, I'd like to present to Ken Kennedy, past president, for excellence in service to the association, presented by the Virginia Moose Association 2020. Ken, you've done a wonderful job through some very trying times. Thank you, my brother, and here is your president's pen. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you much.
Brother Secretary, you will call the roll of officers elect and appointed, and as the name of each officer is announced, they will please stand in place.
District 1 President, Jimmy Barkham. District 2 President, Ron Kitchen. District 3 President, Gerald Balderson. District 4 President, Ben Kerr. District 5 President, Bill Rice. District 6 President, Jeff Robaugh. District 7 President, Alex Clark. District 8 President, Brad Osmore. District 9 President, Gary Easter. District 10 President, Chris McFadden. District 11 President, Clark Crawley. District 12 President, John Beamer. District 13 President, Dwayne Heath. Outer Guard, Charles Carter. Inner Guard, Eugene Jones. Assistant Sergeant of Arms, Ernest Ray. Sergeant of Arms, Mike Rayford. Junior Past President, Ken Kennedy. Treasurer, Wakefield Foster. Prelate, Carl Overstreet. Vice President, Terry Treadwell. President, Glenn Sidden the Glue. And Secretary, Audie Ransom.
Brother Secretary, are the officers elect in good standing in their respective lodges, and the lodge in good standing with this association?
They are.
Brother President, have the members whom this association desires to install into the office for the ensuing term been elected or appointed in strict compliance with the bylaws of the association?
They have, brother.
Brothers, if any of you have just cause to show why any or all of the officers elected or appointed should not at this time be installed, you will make it known now. There appearing to be no objections, I will proceed with the installation. Officers-elect, place your left hand over your heart, raise your right hand, and repeat after me using your name where I use mine. I, Eddie Worth, do solemnly promise that I will faithfully and to the best of my ability perform the duties of the office to which I have been elected or appointed. I will obey all orders emanating from the Supreme Lodge and will discharge my official duties in accordance with the bylaws of this association and the general laws of the Loyal Order of Moose. At the expiration of my term, I will deliver to my successor in office or to any legal authority of the order all funds, books, papers, and property in my possession in my belonging to this association or any other branch of the order. I will devote my energies to the fullest extent to building the association and lodges, the legions, the women of the Moose, and all other authorized endeavors for the promotion and growth of the Loyal Order of the Moose, to all of which I pledge my sacred honor. And may God keep me steadfast in the discharge of my duties. Amen.
Amen.
Glenn?
Come on, get out of my way.
Brother President, I hereby present you with the gavel, symbol of your authority. Our leader.
You know that ticket one.
That are you. Sorry you couldn't hear that. That music was pretty cool, actually. My brothers, please join me in extending a round of applause to our new president, Glenn Sedner.
Please be seated. First of all, I want to thank Mike and Troy for going through my notes and taking everything I was going to say and say it before I said it. I appreciate that. And I really want to know why everybody keeps on telling me, Glenn, do you know this is live? Do you know it's live? Whisper, Glenn, don't say to us. I'm not going to say anything bad. First of all, I want to call out, I want to find out two lodges and see if they're watching this online. And I want to call out Berryville, and I want to call out Callio Lodge. If you're watching, please call in the lodge up here. It's Waynesboro Lodge, and tell Frog so he can holler, and I'll know that y'all are watching. I want to thank Ken for a great job that he did last year, and I want to thank this executive board for the great job that they did. Everybody knows it was a trying time. A lot of times we were on the phone and we were just trying to figure out what to do, but we called the right people and we got it done. And I appreciate them what they did. I want to introduce my wife. Where's the wave?
Miss Judy. Miss Judy.
That's my wife, Judy.
Good job. That's
I always tell a story. Every time I would go to do a position or something, I would come home. And I'd usually be coming home like this. And she would meet me at the door. What have you done now? What have you got yourself into? Well, here I am. I want to thank all these lodges for the great job that they did. I mean, we've got 83 lodges. We lost one, but I don't really think that was about COVID. Y'all got together last year, and you knew you had the trying times, and you knew what was going to be happening. And I went around to these lodges, and I'm looking at people that are renovating the lodges, taking pride, just like they said, and working together, women, men, fixing food, going out the back door, anything that you could do to keep your lodges open. That is leadership. And whether you're at home or you're right here in this room, I mean, that is the definition of leadership, and I am so proud to be a part of this. I got to be the luckiest association president in the world because it's Virginia. I want to give you a hand. Congratulations to the new officers. I'm looking forward to working with you. Terry, you too.
You too, Glenn.
I really am, and what we did last year in the trying times that we had, I'm looking so forward to next year, and I don't think that there's a limit to what we can do when we put our minds to it and put ourselves together, because it was just a tremendous job last year, and when all of this stuff is done, we're going to come out of this thing 100% better with beautiful lodges, new leaders, great leaders. The leaders that have been leading us for years, they're still here, and we love them, and we want them to go out and find new young men, just like that gentleman in Waynesboro, Jimmy Ketron. He saw me at a bar, sitting at the bar, and he saw potential in me. And if it wasn't for him, I'd probably still be sitting at that bar. I wouldn't be up here. But you've got to go that you cannot just wait for these people to volunteer. You've got to get them involved, and you've got to ask them. And once you get them hooked, then you're looking at the leaders down the road, and that's exactly what we need right now. We need a lot of that. So please go back and mentor somebody. Everybody here knows, because you're all dedicated. I'm preaching to the choir here. But you know there's some gentleman in that lodge, or lady, that would get involved and would be a great leader in the future. So please, walk them through it. Be patient with them. Tell them how to do it, and get behind them and say great job every time they do it. It'll make a big difference in your lives. Well, a lot of the rest of it has already been talked about. Guys, what we are going to be looking for next year, and the things that we're actually going to be really focused in on, is Premier Lodge Awards, Shining Stars, and the top association. All of the top, not the top association, but the Shining Stars, the Premier Lodge Award, everything is posted on the VMA website. Go back and get it, because there's always questions. Well, how did that lodge get that Shining Star and we did this? We do it by the percentages. It's fair. It goes right down, and every bit of it's posted on the website. Put it up on your board and say, well, okay, we're doing real good on this, but to get that Shining Star, I need to work on this. It's all posted. Please go back and put it in your lodge, because I'd love to see everybody in here get Premier Lodge Award. And the Shining Stars, I mean, they were so close this year, it was unreal, and that's a great thing. So please go back and print those out. The goal, like I say, the goal this year is our Premier Lodge Award, the top associations. And if you need any help in these areas, please give us a call. I mean, we're always here. I know I don't know all the answers. I'm always on the phone. People call me and they say, Glenn, what about this? I said, well, I think it's this, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna call somebody else. Don't hesitate. Get on the phone and call somebody. You've got a gentleman in here. I see Peck Cedar and all these gentlemen. They know more about the lodge. They forgot more about the lodge than I'll ever know. turn to these people and ask them. They're gonna guide you in the right way. And I told you I'd keep it short, and I am. But I am so proud to be your VMA president. Thank you. I am.
Please be seated. Just call up.
All right, now we're live. We're live.
All right, right after this meeting, we've got to turn this room over to the ladies. I need the executive board and the new district presidents. We're going to meet with my exit meeting over here. So just go out, smoke a cigarette for a minute, let us get us set up, and that's where we're going to be.
But first, they need to come over here and get their picture taken.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the picture. He wants us over here before we go over there. We'll go to the order. Is there any matter of importance been overlooked? Hearing none, we will move to close this 83rd convention of the Virginia Moose Association. I call on call Overstreet for the benediction. Yes.
Before we do that,
He's got it. You talking about what you came up here early for?
yeah, Tracy's
He's got it.
Before I say the benediction, Tracy Smith of Galax Lodge, he's not doing very well. The number here, if you want to call and see how he's doing, is write it down. It's 276-237-8927. And hope the prayers are great to him. All rise. Let's fold our arms and bow our heads. We thank you, our Heavenly Father, for the opportunity we have during this convention to renew our pledge to serve you as members of the Lord Order of Moose. We ask you once again to guide us in our strength and deeds. Give us the understanding, purpose, and strength to fulfill our goals in purity, aid, and progress. This we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen.
Brother Ken, you got something to
Yeah,
present?
real quick, and we're gonna get out of here. My brother Mike Rios, would you please come up here? My brother.
Wednesday, you got some cookies for Miles to drive home?
We got some chocolate chip. Brother Mike, on behalf of the Virginia Moose Association and my wife, I want you to take this little token here, open up and read it. But this is something that I, permanently to my heart, I mean, as far as my brother, but to move forward, I want you to.
You know, it's been a long day, but I gotta tell you a story real quick. I remember when I went up and interviewed for this position up at Moose International, and Scott Hart came out of his office, and I reached out to shake his hand and hug his neck, and he kind of, from being up north, he wasn't used to that. So it was a business job interview, so it was a little bit, you know, I'm just old country boy. So anyway, he met my brother Ken Kennedy down in Moose Haven one day, and I told Scott that's just how we do in Virginia. So Scott came up to me at the chili cook-off after he brought me on board in this position, and he put his hand out, and he did like this, and he hugged me, and he said, "My brother." So it's all the way up to the director general. So now, I've got a clock, and it says, "Moose, nobody does it better," and I will proudly display this in my office up at Moose Heart, and in big bold letters it says, "My brother." Thank you. Love you too, brother. Thank you.
We get a good picture of that clock.
I now declare this convention of the Virginia Moose Association closed. We are adjourned, send die. Best wishes and have safe travels to all.